Hey, all this is Mark, Greensboro on Calls. It's going to do a quick tutorial on diaphragm calls. And I know every caller calls just a little bit different. We've got our own style, our own sound. So that's what makes it, so unique with callers. But I'm going to give you some of the basics on how I run a call. Number one, the first thing is tongue placement. A lot of folks have trouble with the diaphragm call, and they're trying to manipulate the call with the tip of their tongue. That it's a big no-no, especially on my calls, and the way that I call. The tongue placement on a call is critical in getting the correct sound. So I anchor the tip of my tongue below the gum of my bottom teeth, down in the soft spot. The arch of your tongue against the roof of your mouth is where I get the sound. And I know some of this may sound elementary. Some folks are like, hey, move it along. I know how to do that. But I never at any single point in time ever lift my tongue from that anchor point. It doesn't matter if it's a yelp, it's a cut, it's a purr, anything that I do. So with that, it allows you to have an airflow that kind of sounds like a hiss. So when the air goes over top of the tongue, pressure and that hiss at the beginning of it gives the high note in the yelp. So my tongue is here. Stretching the latex, taking the rasp out of it, and then drop that part of your tongue slightly to get the lower part or the raspy part. Okay, so the sound you hear without a call is some of the old school stuff. You hear people say, hey, just say chuck, chuck, chuck. Well, the tongue placement on that is not correct with the way I call, or doesn't coincide with the way I call, but there is a hiss with the air coming out. All right, and to get a little bit more inflection or a little different tone with the yelp, the cavity of your mouth, your lips can change the tone of that as well. All right, I mentioned that the cluck is the same way, and a cluck into a cut. A cut is just, of course, a fast series of clucks. Tongue's doing the exact same thing. It's just dropping abruptly and going right back up to stop the sound. And again, to get different tones, different inflection in it, a little popping sound, you use your lips and change the kind of the cavity of your mouth a little bit. Purr, same thing. Tongue is down. The uvula in the back of your throat basically moves kind of like a punching bag or a speed bag. It will vibrate back and forth. And the best way to learn how to do that is basically kind of clear your throat. That's how I learned 30 years ago. I learned by mistake. I had a mouth call my mouth, couldn't purr. I was doing it with my lips. Cleared my throat one day, and I made the sound. And I was like, wait, how do I replicate that or come back to that? So it's a little harder call to learn how to do. And I'll just kind of demonstrate that. Tongue, again, is in the same exact spot, but you'll hear all right. So I hope that helps out. Get in touch with me. Shoot me a message if you got any questions. Thanks a lot.